Spending time on branding on early stage startups used to be kind of a dumb thing. People didn't really believe in it, and they would always say, look, leads don't come from branding, it comes from demand generation and ads. Focus on that. A few startups, though, a few years ago, started to focus a lot more on branding. And when they did, some amazing things happened. Not only were they able to get a growth machine going through word of mouth because of their branding, they were also able to command a much higher valuation. They were able to win more deals because customers knew about their brand a lot more than their competitors. It meant something for them. And even more so, because of their branding, their customers remained more loyal. So here's a question. If you are an early stage startup founder and you're looking to build a brand, maybe you don't have the world-class marketers on your team, maybe you don't have a massive budget, how do you actually build a brand? Having built a brand myself, today I'm going to walk you through my brand strategy blueprint. I'm going to walk you through the 5 principles that you need to know to actually build out your brand for your SaaS business so that you can actually accelerate your growth, command a higher valuation, get loyalty from your customers, and essentially grow faster. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you navigate and accelerate the path to the next stage of growth. If you are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. I bring you a video like this every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday with the TK energy. Also, if you are part of the community already, if you are a member of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, welcome back. It's really great to see you here. I'll never forget the first time I was at a bar in San Francisco. I was running Tagline at the time, my last SaaS business, which I exited. And I was at a bar, I think it was like a Friday night, and across the bar, I saw someone walking around with an I Close Deals t-shirt. I Close Deals t-shirt were these t-shirts that we made. It was part of our brand. We sold to salespeople, and our t-shirts didn't have Tagline on it. It just said I Close Deals, just like kind of this t-shirt. This is for Unstoppable. And on the back, it just had a tiny Tagline logo. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, this person's just wearing it out and about at a bar. That's so bizarre. And that was like, I always knew the value of brand. At that time, it wasn't the popular thing to do, to spend time on building your brand. But I'm glad I did, because pretty soon people were paying $10 to buy those I Close Deals t-shirt. Every single time someone wore it outside, they would ask like, hey, what is that t-shirt? I Close Deals too, I want one of those. And automatically they would start talking about Tagline. And best of all, because we started to build that mini brand, we started to actually see the effects of that in the market. Customers liked us more. They were more loyal to us. We won more deals because they recognized our brand. They recognized what we were about, our movement. It wasn't just us selling software to salespeople. It was a movement for salespeople because we were all about helping, empowering salespeople to close more deals. That was the power of the brand. And that was when I really clicked for me on, oh my God, there's something to this, truly. And people are wrong. Branding is not useless. Branding is actually super powerful. So having done that for Tagline, and then seeing branding in effect at Marketo bought Tagline, and Marketo is one of the most iconic brands in MarTech. I'm gonna walk you through the 5 principles you need to follow to build even a mini brand for your early stage SaaS business so that you can reap the benefits of a brand as well. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button, and let's go in principle number 1. So principle number 1 is your name and your domain. This is where everything around branding starts. You gotta have a name and a domain that's easy to communicate. And this is the benchmark that I use, okay? The benchmark I use for Tagline. You gotta assume that one of your youngest members of the company, let's just say maybe an SDR or an intern, is out and about on a Saturday night in a really noisy bar. This is post-pandemic, or just imagine that for a second, just work with me. They're in a really noisy bar and they're like, hey, where do you work? And they're like, oh, I work at blank, we do blank. And in that noisy bar, your brand name and what you do has to be communicated super easily. The easier it is to communicate, the easier it is to pronounce, the easier it is to remember, the more powerful everything else that you do. If it's hard to do, then all these other things are gonna be that much harder. Is it impossible? No. But just think of all the names that exist and that are pretty easy to communicate, easy to pronounce. They don't have to be known. Like Google wasn't known, but Google is still easy to pronounce, right? So that's kind of the baseline here. You need to get a name and a domain that is easy to communicate, even in a noisy bar, and being communicated by a drunk person that's an intern on a Saturday night, as they rightly should be enjoying their lives, right? So that's principle number 1. Once you've done that, the second thing that you need to actually think about is, well, why and who do we serve? Why do we exist and who do we serve? That's essentially that's the kind of the whole being around the brand. Now, This is not about what you do. So for example, at ToutApp, we sold software to help salespeople. Got it. But that's not what our brand was about. What our brand was about, like if you think about it, our t-shirt said, I close deals. When you went to our booth in Dreamforce, it would just say, the first thing I ever sold was blank. And we would just call onto salespeople to share their story. They would write in a Post-it note, they would put it on the board, they would share their story of where they first sold, what the first thing was that they sold. We celebrated salespeople. We wanted to be the flag bearers of salespeople. We wanted to empower salespeople. We wanted them to close deals. That's what our brand was about. And we knew the why and the who. The whole point of our entire brand, forget the software helps them do all of that, was we wanted to serve salespeople and sales leaders, and we existed to actually empower salespeople, help them do more, help them be more effective. And we wanted to celebrate the art of selling. And because of that, everything else started to come together. The t-shirts were easy. The theme at the booth was easy because we were like, look, who we're serving are salespeople and sales leaders, and why we exist is to empower them. So let's just make everything that we do, every messaging, every single touch point about that. And then talk about, oh, by the way, we have software that helps you do that a lot more effectively. Are you interested? So the third thing you want to do is start to think about, well, what is our tagline? Once you know why you exist and who you're serving, there needs to be some sort of a call to arms. And this is the thing where I always, this is the marketer in me, I always kind of picture the t-shirt. And the t-shirt, I'm just like, look, if we're gonna have a tagline, it's gotta fit on our t-shirt. So for us here at Unstoppable is another brand that I'm building now. We're probably about, 2 years into it. We're starting to gain momentum around this, and it takes time, and you have to be persistent about it. But I always thought about, like, what do we put on the t-shirt? And for us, who we serve are SaaS founders. SaaS founders, we serve them, and why do we exist? We want to help them build incredible SaaS businesses. And we want to help them be unstoppable in the market, because it just takes so much to build these incredible businesses. And our tagline essentially was ship code, close deals. Those are the two levers that every SaaS founder has. You're either shipping code or you're closing deals. And that was our tagline. So I basically, and we have t-shirts, so you can buy these. So this is one of them, I ship code. I'll link to it below if you're interested in buying one of these t-shirts. We literally have a t-shirt that people wear and people ask for that says ship code and close deals. We also have a t-shirt that says I ship code. And we have a t-shirt that says I close deals. One for each of the co-founders, which is typically how it works. So the whole point of this is you got to have a tagline that you can put on a t-shirt. This is your call to arms. This is what really brings together who you guys are, who you're serving, why you exist into this one core phrase, and that's your tagline. And how do you know you've got a good tagline? People are willing to wear it for free on their chest, on a t-shirt, because it just makes them feel good. The target people that you're serving, it makes them feel good to wear it. That's that phrase, that's your tagline. It's not about you. It's not about what you do for them. It's about how they feel and what you'll enable for them. And that's what really matters. That's your tagline. So that's principle number 3. Okay, now before we go into 4 and 5, let me just pause here for a second. If you're starting to get this, if you're starting to see the power of this, brand doesn't have to be a nebulous thing. In the early stages, you don't need to hire a branding firm. That's a bunch of waste of money. If you're starting to see just by answering these 3 questions, how much more powerful your brand is gonna be, your purpose and your mission is gonna be. Can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm if you haven't already. Now, if you're also building out your SaaS business, you're on the early stages, you're looking to build a predictable go-to-market machine and really generate revenues, I encourage you to download my 5-point startup strategy guide. I'll link to it below and tell you more about it at the end of this video, but let's keep moving. Okay, principle number 4 is you need an attractive character. Not like a hot-looking person. That's not what I mean. Like you need an attractive character. It's probably going to be you, the founder. 99.9% of the time, it's the founder that is the attractive character. But let me explain. See, this brand, this name, over time, it's going to become a thing. So Unstoppable on day 1, you're watching Unstoppable right now. No one knew anything about Unstoppable. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe the word means something to people, but it doesn't really explain why we matter to SaaS founders. So from day 1, I had to attach Unstoppable to TK. I had to say, hey, I'm TK. I've built SaaS businesses. I've grown SaaS businesses. I've raised money from the best venture capital firms. I've exited SaaS businesses. I've helped exit SaaS businesses. And now I help other SaaS businesses. I'm TK. And people would look at me and then say, oh, okay, well, this guy's done things. He's actually done things. He's not just reading from a book and preaching. He's not pretending. So maybe I should listen to him. And that elevated the Unstoppable brand. And over time, as I keep doing that and keep doing that and keep doing that, and we have more customer success stories from our SaaS go-to-market program, which is like some of the success stories are amazing, and I'm excited to share them soon. As soon as you have that, then the brand becomes bigger. Well, what's super important is that you have an attractive character up front for the brand. This is the person, this is the spokesperson, this is the person that embodies everything that the brand believes in. This is the person that's the face of the brand. This is the person that's leading everyone. This is the person that's constantly looking to serve. And you need an attractive character. It's likely going to be you or your co-founder. It's going to be one of you two if you're starting a SaaS business. So in Unstoppable's case, it's me. I'm the quote unquote attractive character. I'm not calling myself attractive. I'm just saying I'm the attractive character, the leader of the Unstoppable movement. And you need one too for your brand. And likely will be you or your co-founder. Now, let me just clear up something here. For you to be, or your co-founder to be the attractive character, you do not need to be an extrovert. I'm actually not an extrovert. I'm an ambivert. I can turn it on when necessary. But generally speaking, I'm an introvert. And so you don't need to be a gregarious, outgoing extrovert. What you need to do is take on a serving mindset. You need to actually get out there and serve people. You need to care. You need to truly care. And for me, even at ToutApp, I truly cared. I loved talking to salespeople. I loved hanging out with salespeople. I loved doing dinners with sales leaders and talking about where sales is going. All of those things I absolutely loved. Even at Marketo, when I was running different organizations, I did all of those things because I truly wanted to serve that group of people, whether it was salespeople or marketers. Both were really near and dear to me. And so you got to figure out who it is that you're serving, why you're serving them, what your tagline is. So for us, it's ship code, close deals. And over here, and it's also actually ship close deals, be unstoppable. And you need to have an attractive character that really spreads the word around this. Once you've done that, there's this last piece of this. You have certain movement, you have a messaging, you'll have a way to mobilize all this. And if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market program, we teach you how to really mobilize all of this and really define all of it. But the last piece of an important brand to really make it real is to be consistent in mobilizing it. You have to find a way to constantly get your brand out there and mention your brand. So right now, we started with 1 YouTube video a week. Now we have 3 YouTube videos every week. We have a mailing list. We have an insider community. We have a go-to-market coaching program. We have a podcast. And we post on Twitter. I post on Twitter. I post on LinkedIn. I am consistently getting the Unstoppable brand out there and consistently talking about how we empower SaaS founders. And we're consistently talking about how to actually grow your SaaS business on a regular basis. And because of that consistency, little by little, every single time, every video gets more views. We get more and more people joining than ever before in our SaaS go-to-market program. All of these things start to come together because of the consistency. I'll tell you, in the first month or first 2 months or first 3 months, it may not feel like anything. It may not feel different. But with this consistency, and I call this a Broadway show, we actually teach you how to do this in the go-to-market program. When you actually are consistent getting your message out there and leading and serving these people and actually being a thought leader on it and actually saying, hey, here's a different way to think about things, right? When you start to do that, over time it compounds. In the early days, it'll seem like nothing, but it'll exponentially actually have an impact on you, on your customers, on your community, on your brand, and on your revenues. Okay, so now you know those are my 5 principles. Number 1, get an easy to pronounce, easy to communicate name and domain. Number 2, figure out the why and the who for you guys. Number 3, have a tagline. It's fun. Put it on a t-shirt. We'll link to our t-shirt store down below. Number 4, establish an attractive character. This is going to be the leader. You cannot outsource this. You can't just hire for this. It has to be you or your co-founder. And number 5, be consistent about getting your message out there. We do it through a Broadway show and a manifesto. So that's how you actually build out a brand. It's not complicated. You don't have to pay millions of dollars in consulting fees to help build that. This is what you need to do. And when you do it, you will get unfair advantages in the market. And that's the biggest power in this. By the way, if you are building a SaaS business and you're building out like how to actually get noticed, how to get more customers, how to build a scalable go-to-market machine, how to actually grow your SaaS business, I invite you to download my free 5-point startup growth strategy guide. Inside of that guide, I'm going to give you the 5 key ways that you can drive growth for your SaaS business, the key things that you actually need to build a strategy around, and how to codify it into a one-page strategy that you can tether yourself to. So if you want to get access to that, it's completely free. I invite you to download it. Go to getunstoppable.com/strategy, getunstoppable.com/strategy, or just follow the link below. I'll link to it down below as well, along with a link to our t-shirt store if you actually want to get one of our t-shirts. We don't make any money on the t-shirts. It's just like to spread our brand and get more people part of our movement. Speaking of movements, if you are enjoying these videos, if you enjoy this channel, be sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can help more SaaS founders. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon if you haven't already so that you get notified when I drop an episode like this with actionable strategies to grow your SaaS business. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business, but when you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode. Our t-shirt says, I close deals. Whenever you went to a booth at Dreamforce, oh, it's ringing. Okay, never mind.